What's up guys, my name is Christian LeBlanc and I'm a Canadian travel vlogger. Just this March, I had the incredible opportunity of partnering with Travel Alberta to share with you one of the pride and joys of Canada. From the city life to the mountains, I got the opportunity to see most of its highlights, and I wanted to put together a nice little video to explain to you how you can make the most of your trip to Alberta. Now, if you're debating going, I want to settle this for you. Alberta is one of the most beautiful places in the entire world. Each season has its own beauty and its own experiences that it has to offer. Now, there's two logical points of entry if you're flying into Alberta. The first is flying into Calgary, and the second is flying into the city of Edmonton. Now, if you do start your trip from Edmonton, simply follow this itinerary in reverse. I'm going to make the assumption you're flying into Calgary because it's the biggest of all the cities and it's generally the most well visited. Now, this guide is not going to focus much on the city life in Alberta. Both Edmonton and Calgary have awesome restaurants and incredible hockey culture. Whether you're watching the Edmonton Oilers in their brand new stadium or the Calgary Flames, you're in for an incredible match and an incredible atmosphere. After you're done with the game, go and check out the nightlife. There's a lot of amazing restaurants. And lastly, one of the attractions you'll notice that isn't advertised is the people. The people of Alberta are incredible. After a couple of great days hanging out in the city, rent a car because it's really the only way you can get around Alberta. Let's start with the beautiful Kananaskis country. This incredible park is a natural wonder. Kananaskis will give you your first glimpse of the beauty that Alberta has to offer. My friend who showed us around actually got special permission to fly his drone here. This is just a friendly reminder that you cannot fly your drone in any national or provincial parks without getting permission, and by the way, it's near impossible to get. My favorite activity of all also comes out of Kananaskis, and that is taking a helicopter tour over the beautiful mountain range. We used Rocky's Heli Canada. They were incredible. They showed us some of the most beautiful sights we'd ever seen, and they even dropped us off to go do some snowshoeing. That will definitely be a costly package if you choose to do something like that. If you have the budget, it's definitely a must. They also have shorter and more affordable trips that might be better for your budget. Head on to the next city, which is Canmore. Canmore is a beautiful, quiet little city tucked away in the mountains. It's a great place to grab dinner, grab a coffee, or whatever you need. You can even spend the night here. We unfortunately didn't spend any time in the city of Canmore, but we had one incredibly memorable stop here with Mad Dogs. Mad Dogs is a dog sledding company that lets you experience dog sledding like it's meant to be done. This is an incredibly authentic Alberta experience, and you can definitely tell that they put the dogs first. Now, sometimes getting from place to place can be a bit of a hassle. Not when you're driving through this part of Alberta. It is nothing but beautiful mountainscape. As you drive from destination to destination, it will feel like a movie. It is way too beautiful. Even the video does these mountains no justice. This is something that you'll have to see for yourself. Next destination is Banff. Banff is without a doubt the most visited destination in the Rocky Mountains. This here is a bit of a tourist hub, and it has some incredible hotels, a lot of amazing restaurants, and some even better coffee shops. We had the extreme pleasure of staying at the luxurious Moose Hotel and enjoying their incredible spa treatment. It's definitely going to run you on the expensive end, but if you're in that price range, we have nothing but incredible things to say about it. A really fun and easy activity to do in Banff, especially for a family, is to take up the Banff gondola all the way to the top of the mountain. It's $50 Canadian for adults and about $25 for children. Definitely a decent way to spend half a day up on the mountains getting a great panoramic vista of the iconic Rocky Mountain range. A couple noteworthy coffee shops in Banff are Wildflower and my personal favorite, White Bark. I had an amazing chai tea latte. If you didn't go skiing on a trip to the Rockies, did you ever really visit the Rockies? Lucky for you, there's some incredible skiing and snowboarding in this area. We actually spent a couple nights up on the mountain at Sunshine Lodge Mountain. There's just one hotel at the very top, and if you want to enjoy ski-in, ski-off privileges, this is a great hotel. There's something really cozy about being tucked away in your warm hotel room as you're surrounded by vast amounts of snow. The skiing here was pretty good. Unfortunately, our day there didn't have the greatest conditions. But one thing I did note was that there was quite a bit of flat terrain, which can be a bit difficult if you're a snowboarder. Another extremely well-reviewed mountain that I've unfortunately not had the chance to visit is Lake Louise Ski Resort. Between Lake Louise and Sunshine, you've got a couple of awesome mountains to choose from. This will definitely make for a great skiing trip. Once you're done with your skiing, you'll notice that there's a very iconic hotel right on Lake Louise, and that is the Fairmont. The Fairmont is a happening place. They have a frozen fortress that makes for some awesome videos. They have some hockey on the ice, and of course, they have a view overlooking the beautiful Lake Louise. Now, when we were there, the lake was completely frozen over and covered in snow, and so you didn't get to see that incredible, iconic blue color that the lake turns into during the spring, but depending on when you're there, you might see some of that blue water. Make sure you Google Lake Louise and see for yourself. If you're looking to experience some fine dining in Banff, make sure to check out the Sleeping Buffalo. I had the wild boar and absolutely loved it. Dinners are definitely not cheap, but if you want to get something unusual like caribou or elk, make sure to check out the Sleeping Buffalo. Now, after however many days you decide to spend in Banff, it's time to experience another one of the Canadian national treasures. This here is the Icefield Parkway. This is making getting from destination A to B one of the most enjoyable experiences of your entire day, assuming the weather cooperates. Unfortunately, we did not have the cooperation of Mother Nature, and we faced what was known as a whiteout. This simply means that there was so much snow coming down that we couldn't even see the mountains. But on a day when you can see the mountains and a beautiful blue sky, this will be Instagram goals and a half. Make sure you have your camera ready at all times. This 230-kilometer stretch will bring you from Banff all the way to your next destination, which is Jasper. If you haven't already seen a few of these guys, I'd be surprised. There's a lot of wildlife in Banff, but the Icefield Parkway is next level. Everything ranging from mountain goats to elk to caribou and potentially even seeing some bears. My good friend from Canmore was telling me that in the right season, he'll see grizzly bears or black bears more often than not when he takes out his mountain bike. Seeing massive wildlife on the side of the road is just part of his daily life. Similar to Banff, Jasper is a very picturesque little city surrounded by mountains. Jasper is quite a bit quieter and quite a bit smaller than Banff, but it's definitely a must-see destination. We stayed at the incredible Fairmont Jasper, which was almost like a log cabin feel. Definitely not cheap, but highly recommend it. It's situated right on this beautiful lake overlooking Mount Pyramid. Here's one of the time lapses I shot. Once you're ready for an action-packed day in Jasper, check out Rockaboo Mountain Adventures. We had an incredible guide that took us to this frozen-over waterfall, but first, to get there, we had to rappel down a 35-meter cliff. This is definitely not for everyone, but Laura and I absolutely loved it. The guide helps you strap on all your tools, teaches you how to use them, everything from your ice picks to your crampons, which are these little knives you stick on your feet so you can dig into the ice. Once you're ready to go, your adrenaline will start to kick in and get ready to hold on to the side of an ice face. It's definitely a bit of a scary experience, but extremely rewarding at the end of it. I definitely would say this is a must. After ice climbing, I'm sure you'll be pretty hungry. The next thing you'll want to do is grab either lunch or dinner at Evil Dave's. Evil Dave's is actually a restaurant that we were recommended by somebody we met in Edmonton, and their recommendation could not have been any better. I had one of the best meals I've ever had. It was a fusion of Mexican and Indian food. Come here, get the El Diablo, one of the best meals I've ever had. A couple other notable activities in Jasper are simply going hiking, sightseeing, viewpoint hunting, or going to the Fairmont and ice skating on the frozen over lake, depending on whatever season you're there. Those are just a few of the things I was able to experience in a very short time frame, but I always recommend you do your own research because there's many things that I will have missed. Now, the next option is either to go all the way back to Calgary and call it the end of your trip, or if you want to really do the tour to Alberta, let's keep going all the way to Edmonton. Edmonton is a city filled with some of the friendliest people I've ever met. We had some incredible dinners here, some incredible cocktails, and we even got to experience North America's largest mall, also known as the West Edmonton Mall. There's an indoor theme park with a roller coaster, there's a pirate ship, there's a water park, and there's live concerts here. If you weren't able to experience the hockey game in Calgary, make sure you see it here in Edmonton because their stadium is to die for. And this is probably one of the biggest hockey cities in all of Canada and all of the world. If you're looking for an awesome meal here in Edmonton, check out El Cortez and get the Padre cocktail. Seriously, one of the most memorable and delicious meals I've ever had. If you're still looking for another thing to do and want to test your luck, go to Elk Island. This is one of the places you can see the massive creatures known as the bison. They have 2 different species of bison, and they even have a large population of moose. Unfortunately, we didn't see anything other than this guy. Today, we've been relatively unlucky. Our luck has turned though, for the better. We are about to show you a porcupine in a tree. This was an unforgettable week in one of the most beautiful places in the entire world. I want to thank Travel Alberta for having us, and I want to encourage you to go and check it out for yourself. I have a new and extensive travel guide coming out for Thailand very soon, so make sure to check out my website lostleblanc.com. Go to lostleblanc.com, join the mailing list, and just like that, you'll be up to date for when new travel guides are released. Let's get lost again in the next one.
I got it! Baby, well done!